Hi and welcome to Dice Sagas. One thing I've got to say is I did actually start painting this model before I actually decided to go ahead and start obviously creating this video, so you have to bear with me, and it will be still images all the way through with obviously directions and guidance and painting that I've used throughout. This is the first of its kind on our channel. We'll be looking to do many more. It's just one of those things where obviously we are, first of all, time, but on top of that it's the actual campaign that we've got ongoing as well. So if you haven't had a chance to check any of the campaign that we've done, by all means, have a look through, and obviously if you like what you see, of course, drop a subscribe, a like, a comment, all that good stuff. Well, I'll leave you to the video. First step is to prime the miniature, and for this I used Aggaros White. Once done, I then followed up with a base of Aggaros White using the large base Citadel brush. Apply this to the whole miniature, so this is the base and the bark. Following on from that, you'd want to apply the Basilicolum Contrast Grey paint, and this is to the rock feature. Where you can locate any skulls, you'd want to apply the Skeleton Horde Contrast paint. Moving swiftly on, you would then apply the Gore-Grunta Fur contrast paint to the soil of the base. And now to the bark. So for this, you would want to apply Apothecary White contrast paint all over the bark. And what this will do, this will bring out the depth and enhance the actual bark itself and the texture. And now for the eatable part, the juicy mushrooms. And for this, I used Flesh Tearers Red contrast paint. And again, that was to bring out, funnily enough and ironically, the contrast between the white and the red, and obviously enhance that brightness. And then for the finishing touches on the mushrooms itself, I applied Aggaros Dunes contrast paints, and this is for the stems of the mushrooms, and just again to give that colour and difference. And for the finishing touches, I applied Administratum Grey as a dry brush technique over the rock itself, and that's to give that little lift and realism to the rock. Then look to apply Stirland Battlemire technical paint, and look to apply this to the soil of the base, and that'll just give it that gritty texture. Okay, so now onto the branches and leaves. I made the choice of leaving them on their sprue, and this was purely down to simplicity really. So using the same spray as before, so that will be Aggaros White, spray across the whole sprue, and from there apply the Iyanden Yellow contrast paint, and this is to the leaves themselves. It doesn't matter if you touch the branches, as this will be tidied up later on. And now moving on to the next colour for the leaves, and this is to bring out that autumn feel. I used Gryph-Hound Oragne contrast paint, and when you go to apply this, you'd want to use a dry brush. Again, using the contrast paint, put as much as you can onto a tissue until you have very little left on the brush, and then just gently go over the leaves. However, you'd only want to apply this technique to the leaves underneath. If you want to continue this to the top of the leaves, you can do. However, to get the look that I achieved in this, you just want to apply it to the under leaves for now. Onto the final layer now. I wanted to use something which was more of an autumn feel, keeping with the same tone as well with the mushrooms. I used Flesh Tearers Red contrast paint. And as before, the orange will be applied to underneath the leaves, and so the top of the leaves will be left yellow. And now onto the top of the leaves. So for this, I wanted it to be more individualistic regarding the leaves. So yes, I painted each leaf one by one using the varying colours, so that's Flesh Tearers Red contrast and the Gryph-Hound Oragne contrast paint. The yellow had already been applied earlier. It may seem daunting, but it is very, very quick. Also, if you get some paint onto the other leaves as well, obviously with the varying colours, that doesn't matter too much either. Just like the old adage, time flies when you're having fun. Personally, I find painting scenery a great gateway for getting family members and friends involved into the hobby. Hence, this task could be completed a lot quicker as the technique is quite straightforward. And now for the final touches, you would want to paint the branches Aggaros White, and then go over them again with Apothecary White contrast paint, similar to what we did earlier with the bark. And finally, using Gryph-Hound Oragne contrast paint, you'd want to apply the same technique as you did earlier with the underleaf, and gently dry brush the top of the leaves orange, and this just helps to blend the three colours used together. And there you have it, the final product. So I hope this has been useful for some of you folks out there. If you would like to see more of this content on our channel, please drop a comment. Also feel free to post any feedback and let me know what colours you've used for your Wyldwoods too, because again this is very personal to me and my glade. So yeah, share the name of your glade, the colour scheme you've used too, as I'd love to hear from all you folks out there. I hope you've enjoyed the video and thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing our channel. If you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe. We also have a Facebook page and Instagram account. Links are within the channel banner. Take care and happy wargaming.